Hi, Zara.
Hi, Jeremy. Thank you for being here and sharing your experience with us here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm from Canada.
Yeah.
I reached out to PUNQU probably a year ago, roughly. It was a long time ago. And Zara very quickly got back to me. I will say I probably reached out to four or five other centers as well when I was looking, and I didn't get a very good feeling from them. Some of them I just didn't connect the way that I connected to Zara very quickly, which was important to me going on this journey. So my intent for coming to Peru was a couple things. One was I wanted to do the trek to Machu Picchu, which for um, medical reasons was, it was a challenge for me even a couple of years ago to walk a kilometer. There was a time where walking the stairs was difficult, so that was part of it to prove to myself that I could do it. Um, and then, of course, I wanted to come and experience the plant medicine and the healing that comes along with that with ayahuasca. So the gears were set in motion probably about a year ago, and I talked to my friend Steve, who agreed to come along with me on this journey and experience this place. I'm I'm a dreamer. Um, I love to think. I'm not great at details. So I didn't know exactly where I was going to end up. I didn't know exactly what the location was, and the information is probably all on the website. And I did a terrible job of researching beforehand, but I just put it absolute faith in Zara and the team here and Valentine. Um, and the setting couldn't be more beautiful. It's Zara chooses to use the word rustic, I think, a few times on the website, but it's stunning. The actual where we stay is beautiful, and if I look around, I'm staring at mountains, and I wake up to that every morning, and through the window in my cabin, I can see the hummingbirds feeding on the flowers, and it's just wonderful. So the trek was extremely challenging for me, but it was extremely rewarding. I am probably much slower than the average person doing the trek. So there was lots of people who did it who were very successful and didn't have any difficulties nearly like I did. But I did have some challenges along the way. And the guides that were with me were extremely supportive and helpful, and it was very safe. So I was a little worried because I have some balance issues, etc. But they were very kind. So that was great. I broke my body in the first week, which was the intent, and then I came for healing in the second week, and um, physical healings, but more importantly, spiritual and emotional healing. I have some traumas that I've been wanting to work through, and we did the first ceremony the second night after we got here, and with excellent preparation from Zara and working with Valentine and Joelle, the other shaman that we work with, I felt very prepared going in. I never felt scared, but I certainly felt a little trepidation and nervous. That quickly went away. The actual experience that first night for me was quite mild. It was a really great kind of break in and allowed some of the healing to start in my body. Um, so I woke up on the next day feeling already very different, much lighter than I started. Working into the second ceremony, which was by far the most profound and transformational experience I've ever gone through. I won't get into specifics of what it was, but I felt love and a connection to a spirit force that I didn't know existed before. So it
Hmm.
was very
That's
powerful.
beautiful.
And
Hmm.
now we're doing our last ceremony tonight,
Yes.
and I'm very excited. Not nervous at all.
Mhm.
As you can tell, I'm kind of an emotional guy, so been
It's
doing
beautiful. You
been
have a
doing a lot
beautiful
of crying,
heart.
doing a lot of crying, but it's
Hmm.
good. There's it's a safe and authentic place to come and experience ayahuasca and the gifts that it has. I I underestimated the power of this experience, um, and I'm just very grateful to Zara and Valentine and the baby. Creates a wonderful family atmosphere. We've done a few day trips together since then that were also really rewarding. We visited a thermal bath yesterday, um,
Laris.
yeah,
Hmm.
which was beautiful. And I love to go to the thermal spas back home, but this was totally different. I will say I've been in agony is probably too strong a word, but my body has been very sore for the last couple of months because I've been preparing to do the Salcante trek.
Hmm.
I probably did a bit too much, and then the actual trek certainly took it out of me. I went into those baths, and ayahuasca certainly had a part to play in it, feeling all of this pain in my body. And I'm not kidding, when I left, it's gone. It's a zero. My muscles were tight and locked up and sore. I don't have any of that anymore, and I'm just so grateful. I feel
Hmm.
wonderful.
So beautiful. It's awesome. Awesome, Jeremy. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, what would you say, and perhaps for someone who is searching, who is being called to the medicine, to ayahuasca, and is out there in the world and doesn't know where to go or how to even start or
Right.
even trust, because on internet, of course, there's so much.
Yeah.
So, how
That's
would you say that?
the difficulty, I think, is that there's become the business of ayahuasca is
Mm-hmm.
certainly growing. Certainly in North America it is, but even in South America as well.
Mm-hmm.
Probably maybe more profoundly, I don't know, but I would
Yeah.
say find a center and facilitators and shamans that you have a connection with and you can trust. And I testify on top of the mountains that Zara and her
Mm-hmm.
team here are exactly that. They are. I probably had over 60 emails back and forth with Zara over the course of the year, and it was always timely and full of love and curiosity. The very first email that I got was asking me why I wanted to endeavor into ayahuasca, and every other interaction I'd had with different centers, it was so we can upsell you this or we can do that, and the prices were certainly more outrageous than at the very fair price that you pay to come here. The Try PUNQU. Talk to
Mm-hmm.
Zahra.